Welcome to MLB Prop Pick Show, powered by the Bat on Covers. Thanks for joining us here. Back to our regular schedule, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:15 a.m. Time to get some releases in. Derek, good morning to everybody there in the chat. Milo, Jack, Reed, Blue, Bobby, and Evan, and everybody else who's trickling in so far in the year. You know, Mr. Carty's excited about baseball when he's dropping hitter strikeout props on Saturday and Sunday morning on his days off. He's like, yeah, these are too good. We got to get those out. But because of those, it's been a good run. 5 units, 27% ROI. Very nice. And we have some non-strikeout stuff. I know everyone's like, oh, I can't get that. I mean,
yeah,
it's tough. And if we were a paid subscription, Derek, sorry to cut you off, then it would be an issue. But at the end of the day,
we're giving out free picks, and you can access the bat projections for literally every player in every market on your own if you want to. But yeah, I had one user who's like, I forget, some sort of like VIP better at DraftKings or whatever, asked their customer support. They said they might be coming back in a couple of weeks there. So that would be nice. Have a few more books start to offer it again would be very nice.
The trading team probably just hates every conversation from like marketing that gets sent to them at a sports book.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure.
What about this? Like, go away. Like, no, I'm risk here. You're just adding risk to my plate. Criminal to say the least. I know it's tough, but we got some other things. We're here Tuesday, big slate. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't be freeloaders. Comment and share. If you're looking for numbers, head over to Covers. Head over to Prop Projections, MLB. Sort by game, sort by market, sort by book and price, star ratings, analysis from the Bat, everything powered by the Bat. Safe to go there. See some outs there. And if you're new to the show, this is a release procedure. We'll tell you a book. We'll tell you a secondary book. We'll tell you a game. We'll tell you the market. We'll tell you the player, the under, and just drop it like that. No psych outs, no fakes. We just tell you there. And you guys let us know where it's moving to, what the number is, where someone else can find it. Maybe if we missed a price somewhere that got hung a little later, let us know. And let's get things off. Bet365 here, giant number. DraftKings at a very playable number. Hard Rock at a very playable number. We're at Giants, Astros. And there's a couple of these interesting pitcher ones. And we're going to go pitcher walks. Logan Gilbert has a 1.5 market today. If you didn't notice that, you're like, wow, how much juice do I want to put on one of the most accurate pitchers? 155. Let's go. Release number 1, Tuesday. Hayden Wesneski under 1.5. Walks allowed plus 155. I am amazed that this number is still here. So you have a bunch of funny things with this. You have a guy that has command, right? Like more than like a walk more than every 3 innings.
Yeah,
not going to go 6 innings.
Average control guy for sure.
Yeah. And in terms of that, projection's good. He's facing a small sample size, but the Giants have a 3% walk rate on the year so far, which is it's not even the worst. I think there's one worse than that, but that is a very small number. He hasn't pitched much, right? The projection's around 70 pitches, and he exited his last start after taking a ball off the leg. The x-rays came back negative, but there's a lot of outs for just kind of a low volume game. And I was on Visson this morning talking about situations like this, where it's like, okay, low volume. And now you just kind of go to the markets, Derek, and see where the best price is. And plus 155 on a low volume play looks great.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a lot of what this comes down to. The volume here could potentially be very low. So that's kind of what we're looking at here, hoping for, 75, 80 pitches I'd be happy with. And we're getting a really good number on it. The Bat's projecting 1.51. So, we're looking at close to a coin flip here at 155 or 140 or wherever you're going to get it at. Looks good to me.
Yeah, seeing 140 there at DK. That's the one that's in my books. Let's go. No, interesting one. It's one of those things where you see your projections and you see like a giant outlier and you're like, okay, I got to do some digging into it. And then you're like, okay, I think he's gone like 11 outs in the spring. Like he's not an efficient pitcher in terms of getting deep.
Yeah, even in the spring, I think his max was like He worked up to like 70, 78 in the spring. So, but still, even in general, like he's a guy who's always kind of bounced between, starter, bullpen, kind of a swingman role, doesn't go super deep in his starts to begin with. He is on a new team this year, but, I think we're probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, looking at a lowish volume game here.
155 is big, though. Like, that's where were we getting Hayden Birdsong? 2.5 minus 110, somewhere like that.
I don't remember.
Maybe we got some plus money on it, but like
Hayden Birdsong out of my mind entirely.
I know, but like that's how I price that side of the distribution, right? Like, so the 1.5 under 1.5 plus 155 somewhere goes to like 2.5 minus 145, which is probably where the line should be instead of the risky 155.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, DK just brought it down to plus 125 instantly. See, that's the difference between you guys and me. I bought it this morning, 140 DK, and it hung around all day until that moment. Yep. So thank you. Down to 135. Holy geez. So yeah. Good work, team. And there you go. Seen in action. Oh God, Hayden Birdsong cannot be how we price anything. Yeah, yes, because you need to know how to price the extreme outlier on the other side, and nobody in 3 years of baseball has done that.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, no, we can't project 3 walks per start.
Yeah.
Hayden Birdsong is Max Payne. He is the outlier.
At least he didn't make the Giants rotation out of spring. We don't have to deal with him yet.
Oh, jeepers. All right. Yeah. Until Wesneski. Until Logan Webb. Sorry, Logan Webb. Stay healthy, please. Where are we? Hits, runs, RBIs. We're going to go to Bet365, secondary books, MGM, DK, Mets, Marlins. Hits, runs, RBIs. I just really like this hits, runs, RBIs market. We talked about it last year. It's just a good segue. You're like, okay, the bases, see where the bases are, see where this are. Like it's a juggling act to see which one is better. And I'll get to it here. So let's release Griffin Conine under this number, plus 135. Let me know where it is in other spots. So what would his hits be? His hits would be more than this, right? Like his under 0.5 total bases.
So it was under 0.5 total bases or hits. I think most books have it like minus 105, minus 110.
Sorry, it's the other way.
Yeah, which is still, I mean, if that's the only thing you have access to, I think plenty of books have this market now, but the hits are fine too, comparable value. And it's all kind of based on the same edge, which is that one, the BetX really doesn't think Griffin Conine is very good. It is, if you look on FanGraphs, it is very much the low system on him. But also there's pinch hit risk here. He was a guy they pinch hit for a good amount last year. So far this year, he's been pinch hit for a tiny sample, but we are expecting Griffin Conine, hopefully, to get lifted once Senga comes out of the game. And they've already said that Senga is going to be on a shorter leash than all their other pitchers to start the year. They said, I don't know, a week or two ago that they expect his first start to be like 75 pitches or so.
Bring in the lefty. He doesn't face any lefties. He's I think he started 3 games, pinch hit for in 2 of them, hitting at the bottom of the order, and hasn't seen more than 3 PAs in any game just because it's not a great lineup.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like. Jeff Conine's son. That's what someone's saying in the chat.
I would imagine he is. Yeah.
Yeah. I should have called him Jeffson Conine, and then you could call him Jeff's son Conine. That would have been a way better move. Plus 135, seen plus 130 at DraftKings. Appreciate it, Brian, for posting that out. So I got it backwards like a donkey. Go to his hits. You like his hits, okay, or his total bases when it's at 0. It's like minus 135. You're like, okay, that might be out of my buy range for some people. I know it shows comparable value, like you said, but that's when you go from that market. You're like, okay, I know I can get another 60 points by going to the hits, runs, RBI market, and you're already projecting him for doing nothing. So you can usually find a little more. I won't call it value because I'm sure it's the same value, but people want to buy that 135 a lot more than minus 130.
Yeah. And it is a little more value, not
a
lot, you're getting on this maybe like, I think I think we're looking at like maybe an extra 4% of theoretical ROI, which you'll take. But they are both going to be definitely plus EV plays.
Yahtzee saying, how long before Devers has significant pinch hit risk? I don't think he has.
Question. I mean, you have to think he's going to at some point go on the IL or something. Like it's small sample, but we knew he wasn't really healthy, and he's not doing anything like he normally should. Like, I don't know what they're doing with him.
Mike Taylor, where are pitcher outs coming? And we talk about it every time. He's just making sure that the difference between 17 and a half and 18 and a half and 14 and a half and 50 and a half is accountable correctly. Am I talking correctly here or what?
Yeah, basically. I mean, the distribution for outs is all over the place because it's not like any other market where you can just pile one on top of the other on top of the other, and there's no difference between them. Like with outs, there's key numbers. The end of the inning, the start of the inning are huge. You need to account for that properly. And so we're making sure that that's accounted for properly before we put out betting values for outs.
Yeah, there's nothing cool about being on under outs and seeing some guy just get pushed because he's already in, and like the lefty's coming up 2 batters later or something, and like, I might as well just let him go until we bring in the lefty. You're like, oh, all of a sudden he's like 10 pitches over projected. Like, dang it. It's not the market it was that we were hitting like 2 years ago. That's for sure. It's a lot more efficient. Now you just have to find guys like Wisniewski, like who's the guy in Milwaukee today who might have a longer leash who pitched on Saturday.
What's the generic name? Chad Patrick, is that?
Yeah. Pat Chadwick. It's interesting to see because he pitched 22 innings out of relief, but like he's a bulk reliever, so he could still get those 3 innings, 60 pitches or somewhere along that line 2 times through the order.
That's kind of about what I'm expecting for him, I think. But yeah, definitely some higher variance on what he could do.
I think it was the earned runs I landed on where there might be the most value just because there's more paths. He could suck. Like, he's not a good pitcher to begin with. He could get hit up, but the strikeouts scared me. Let's keep going. Let's get some hitter strikeouts. Back to a fan favorite of Derek's, Bet365. I believe, where are we again? Just Hard Rock in here right now?
Someone said Botano in Canada has it.
Yeah.
I think Fliff. Oh, and I think someone said yesterday Betway has it if you still have that available in your state. I do not.
Washington, Toronto. There's strikeouts. Where's A. Roden? 140. Still there. Alan Roden under 0.5 hitter strikeouts plus 140. That's the third release here today. Fliff pulled it. Yahtzee said, 1K in 16 plate appearances is pretty dang impressive, especially when you're getting plus 140. I know you've probably bet it every game.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. So I bet him 4 times this year. It's 3-1 and plus 4.1 units. So I'm just going to keep riding with it.
Yeah, until the wheels fall off on Roden. Exciting game. I know we don't have a play on him, but you have James Wood projected pretty well across a lot of things, right? Have you been a big James Wood guy this year, or just think maybe that the books are mispricing a 6'7" left-handed guy who can hammer every part of the field?
Yeah, I don't know. Normally the bat isn't like super high on on rookie, young guys, but yeah. I mean, I haven't paid too much attention to him yet. Actually, it's interesting that you say that.
No, hit a home run after Abrams yesterday, and they took a shot to the bench, and the bench was like, "How did that ball get out of here?" Just kind of like a non-barreled Oppo home run, but the man has power. Exciting team to watch if you're a fan, but I don't know if they'll do much damage. Speaking of exciting teams, Minnesota and the White Sox. Minnesota just struggling. White Sox, yeah, they're that bad too. Except unless you bet against them, and you bet against what? Padwick, who just got absolutely annihilated. I'm like, oh, he's going to carve this lineup. No, he got crushed. Hitter strikeouts. He must. I wonder if he's the brother of what's
Miguel?
Yeah.
He's got to be, right?
I didn't want to say that just because I don't know, like, what's the background of the name. I'm like, oh, it's a common background name. Let's go. Jacob Amaya, under 0.5 hitter strikeouts, plus 170. That's where we are here for Chicago. White Sox, just the same thing. They just don't get through the order a lot. He's hitting at the bottom. There is some pinch hit risk, 165. Oh, sorry, we lost 5 points, 170.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll take the 5-point hit.
No, in these markets, I've come to realize that the 5-point move is not significant to get away. Betway also carries pitcher outs. Oh, Betway has hitter strikeouts.
Right.
Beautiful. Thank you, Neil Parker. Appreciate it. But no, what do you got on Amaya in terms of pinch hit risk? I think he's struck out once in each of his last 3 games, but he's getting 2 to 3 plate appearances a game, which is more bankable.
Yeah. I mean, he's on a bad team. Like you said, bottom of the order. They're not going to turn it over a lot. You know, he projects for a total of like 3.5 plate appearances, I think. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong Amaya. Less than 3 plate appearances.
Yeah. You were looking at Miguel, weren't you?
I am, yeah. Less than 3 plate appearances, pinch hit risk here against a pitcher who's not a very, good strikeout guy anyway. So yeah, we're looking at some good value on this one.
4 plays there. Started off with a Wesneski under 1.5 walks, big number 155. Griffin Kona and Jeff Sudden under hits, runs, RBIs plus 135. Alan Roden under 0.5 hitter case plus 140. That's been a great one, as Derek said. Plus, what did you say, 5 units so far just in the games you bet him on. And you bet the one game where he struck out. That's the only game he struck out. And then Jacob Amaya under 0.5 hitter strikeouts plus 170. That's what we got. Stay tuned. Right now, Derek is releasing any social plays that we have right now as we're going to revamp the release process. Oh, and there it is. We were talking about it before. The torpedo bat situation.
Torpedo bats.
If you can't quantify it, you can't put it into the projections, correct?
That's really the short answer. Theoretically, it makes sense. This should make a difference for certain hitters. As of right now, I think there's a total of 14 confirmed hitters that are actually using the bat. So maybe a little blown out of proportion. Eventually too, if it does make a difference, it will work its way into the StatCast metrics. Unfortunately, StatCast right now is not measuring, or is at least not giving us publicly, that kind of granular data where we can see bat sizes and, everything else. So, right now, there's not a whole lot we can do about it other than just watch and see what happens. I think it probably matters, but it probably matters way less than the outcry over it right now is making you think it does.
Yeah, 20-mile-an-hour winds, short porch and right. I point that out, and then some Yankee fan was like, yeah, because only one team gets to hit in that park. No, when it's your home park and you're lefty heavy, it's a big advantage. Like I don't know.
Yeah. And
Ellie Cruz, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. So what are you going to
do? Yeah. The other thing too, I mean, if you read into it more than just the headlines, like these have been around for the last couple of years. Players have practiced with them, thought about changing to them. Some have decided against it. Some have decided to do it. It has a different feel. So it's not like you just pick it up and automatically like you're going to be like a better hitter. Like I think you kind of want to almost design it to your own specific swing, and it takes some time there's like a learning curve potentially. Like it takes some time to get used to it before it feels, right as a batter. So, it's definitely not as simple as just like pick up a torpedo bat and start crushing homers. Like it's not, I don't think it's that at all.
Oh, yikes. Yeah. And I was telling Derek off the air, if your 70-year-old mother is saying, what about these torpedo bats? Well, the edge is probably gone in the market, I'm assuming. And
yes.
I don't know, Jazz Chisholm and Dave Portnoy fighting on Twitter yesterday about it it's just good content. I'd like that content better than home runs, but some wild winds today. Take a look, head over to cover, see the weather there. I think we got 23-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to right field at Dodger Stadium, which is kind of interesting, but I don't know. Like this is not like this is what winds are right now because the temperatures are low. You know what I mean? It's not true wind analysis. Is that true to believe or no?
Sorry, I got distracted.
Like it's not June. It's not June wind where I'm just like, 23 miles an hour blowing out Dodger Stadium when it's 60 degrees outside is a lot different than 90.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right. But it's still that game with Sale. That's 8-run total. Braves offense, though. Yikes. I mean, it's 5 games. It's 6 games.
They will be just fine.
Everybody will be fine, except maybe Rafael Devers. So we'll leave it at that. 4 plays in it. Back here tomorrow, same time, 9:15 releases. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't on the way out. Catch before you bet today. That gets dropped around 11 o'clock. So lots more content coming. Hockey Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as well. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Derek Carty. This is MLB Prop Picks powered by the Bat. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks to everybody there in the chat.